This week on the Autocar Show, we drive the new Swift Dzire and tell you what's new about it. We take two of the Mercedes SUVs to the mountains. And Hormaz brings you all the inside scoop from the auto industry.
One car that was conspicuous by its absence at the Maruti Suzuki stall at the Auto Expo was the second generation of their best-selling saloon, the Swift Dzire. Well, that's because Maruti was preparing it for launch, which means this, the all-new Swift Dzire, is hitting your showrooms right now. But we here at the Autocar Show are taking our first drive of it and telling you what you can expect.
No prizes for guessing that this is essentially the new Swift with a boot slapped on. From the front, the Dzire can be distinguished from the Swift thanks to the double-layer perforated grille. But compare it with the outgoing Swift Dzire and the changes are plenty. The all-new platform gives the Swift Dzire more width, more height and a longer wheelbase. Now this might lead you to think that the Swift has increased in size, but in essence it's quite the opposite. The new Dzire is actually under the 4-meter mark to avail of the cost benefits. Instead of a full-sized boot, it is now a notchback, and as a result, we have to admit it looks better balanced. It is also lighter than before, thanks to the chopped boot. For a sporty touch, the boot lid gets a light integrated spoiler, and the new tail lamps are smart looking as well. Open the boot and you get 316 liters of storage space, which is lesser than before by about 150 liters. But it's still enough to hold luggage for a weekend outing. To integrate the boot, Maruti and Suzuki engineers had to change the design from the B-pillar, so you'll notice that the rear doors are now bigger. And since we're driving the VXI variant, there are no new alloy wheels in this one to boast about. The list of changes is much longer on the inside. For a sense of luxury, the Dzire now gets dual-tone interiors. While the dash top is black, the rest is beige. The seat covers too get a new design. Another nice touch is the mockwood inserts on dash and door panels. And of course there has to be chrome to dazzle prospective buyers, like on the door handles here. Since we're driving the automatic version, which is only offered in the VXI variant, the music system is different from the one on the ZXI. Still, it does offer aux-in and USB connectivity. Overall, the interiors are pleasing.
Okay, except for the seat fabric, which I didn't like so much, I think the interiors do feel plush and upmarket as Maruti would have liked. The beige really helps, and I'm sure people will like the chrome accents here and there. That aside, importantly, there's more space here now on the inside as compared to the earlier Swift Dzire, and that's because the wheelbase is bigger, the seats are scooped out. But sitting 3 abreast, that's still going to be a bit tight, and the seats typically, very soft. So on longer journeys, might feel a bit uncomfortable. But now there's one thing I like, and that's when you look at the door is actually different as compared to the Swift. And the glass area has been resculpted so that you get a more airy feel on the inside as compared to the Swift, in which, because of the line here, it does feel a bit cooped up.
The Dzire, like the hatch, gets the 1.3 DDIS diesel and the 1.22 VVT petrol. But for the very first time, there will also be an automatic transmission, and this is mated to the petrol motor. For the record, the petrol motor develops 86 bhp and 11.6 kgm of torque and is a very usable power unit. This is then mated to a 4-speed automatic gearbox. We were wary that the drive experience would get lethargic and strained, but that wasn't the case.
The engine itself feels very nice, smooth and linear, way more refined than before, and really it's just very nice and drivable. Now the engine and auto box were really quite a pleasant surprise in city traffic. First and foremost, the gear shifts really nice and slick, and other than that, it just feels very responsive to drive. So when you're getting off the line, you need to prod the throttle a little bit and it darts forward. You don't miss the manual gearbox, and even in terms of drivability, it's really quite good as long as you want to keep pace with city traffic or even weave through it. It's just that when you find an empty stretch of road and you flat foot, then you'll find that performance is blunted just a little bit.
This being Maruti, the focus is clearly on practical bits like running costs. And the company claims good fuel efficiency for the automatic version as well. Also of great importance is the ride comfort. On the new Swift, the suspension offered better isolation from poor roads. Now the setup has been tweaked further, keeping the Dzire's audience in mind.
Now this is meant to be a family saloon, right? So the suspension has been softened compared to what was there on the Swift, which has increased body roll, but you do have more pliancy now.
It's clear that the Dzire's McPherson strut front suspension and twist beam setup at the rear soak up poor surfaces and even absorb sharp bumps better than before. Of course, the ride was also helped by the taller 165 by 80 R14 tires. But what about the times when you want to have some fun?
Now this is not meant to be a sporty saloon, so chucking it around corners, well, you can't expect fierce grip and all, but this is a more mature, more predictable saloon to drive hard and fast compared to the outgoing Swift Dzire.
Replacing a hot seller that still commands a long waiting line with an all-new product is a tricky business. But the Swift Dzire is dishing out a much more relaxed experience than ever before thanks to the automatic gearbox, and it's also improved in every area except one.
Well, let's put the obvious aside. When it comes to boot space, the all-new Swift Dzire isn't going to compare to the outgoing version, but that really shouldn't be a problem for most urban families because this one has got enough space for your weekend getaways. And everywhere else, this just feels several notches above. It feels like a more well-rounded package in terms of design. It just feels, well, more cohesive and more attractive. It's better to drive as well. When you get inside, the interiors feel more upmarket, they just look plusher. The plastic's still a little bit hard and tough, but on the inside you have more space, fairly well loaded, it's comfortable, seats could be more firmer for better support, but overall, definitely in terms of refinement and comfort, several notches above. And when it comes to this engine, the 1.2 litre petrol along with the 4-speed automatic, really very much at home in the city. Very responsive, slight tap at the throttle and it gets going. You don't miss the manual gearbox until you find an empty stretch of road and you flat-footed, then you'll feel that the punch has been blunted a bit. But overall as a package, really great, and I'm sure even the manual versions will really be a strong package from Maruti.
Maruti has launched the Dzire at these introductory prices. The base petrol LXI is priced at 4.79 lakh rupees. Rising up to 6.19 lakh rupees for the top-end ZXI variant. The automatic is only available in the VXI variant, retailing at 6.54 lakh rupees. Similarly, for the diesel version, the base variant is for 5.80 lakh rupees and the top-end for 7 lakh 9,000 rupees. There is surely a lot of action from the Maruti stable. They also have unveiled a facelift for the A-Star called the Spiced Up A-Star. Look at it from the outside and you won't notice many changes. There's a hint of sportiness though, and that's thanks to the new spoiler on the hatch. And then there are the new alloy wheels. The A-Star is also being offered in 2 new colors. But based on customer feedback, it's the interiors that have been extensively revised. The new dual-tone color scheme dashboard is only the start. The upholstery is also in beige now and gives a greater sense of roominess and comfort. Even the seat headrests have been redesigned to give a greater sense of space. In fact, space has improved as the front seat backs have been scooped out, liberating more knee room for the second row. A few additional storage spaces and the split rear seats that free up more storage space increase the practicality of the little A-Star. The car also ups its safety levels by offering ABS and airbags as options on the top-end variant. So overall, the A-Star feels better packaged and better equipped than before. Maruti has priced the upgrade from 3,66,000 rupees for the base LXI version, going all the way to 4.4 lakh rupees for the ZXI version with the ABS and airbags. That's pretty neat. Coming up on the show, the Mercedes G55 and the GL SUVs. They prove their mettle in the mountains. And Ford travels across India and Nepal with the Discover Smart Drive.